Hi. Um, I'm gonna try not do any cuts here. I'm not doing an intro this video, and I think it's important to just get everything out. I've not written anything down. I've had a lot of thinking, and I think it's important to just say everything I think. First off, I'm gonna address the fact that I have not done a review since the story in the engine. Was that on purpose? Originally, no. I just had a lot of thoughts about the Interstellar Song Contest, and let's just say it wasn't a positive reaction. It was related to the political angle of the story. It was related to the actions of the Doctor in the story, and it was also related to the ending of the story, particularly the end credit scene reveal. And it made me sigh. I had a very sour taste, and suddenly all the bad feelings I've had about Doctor Who in the past went right back to the forefront of my brain, and I realised we're about to watch the finale, and I immediately was just like, okay, here we go. I then just never got around to filming that review, and then Wishworld happened, and I also did not get to filming that review because I sighed for the second week in a row. And the finale, if it came out at 8 a.m., probably would have been able to watch it. Came out at 7 p.m. I had plans. It was my girlfriend's birthday this weekend. We were having picky bits, like having nice hymns and stuff on that night, and I just had a feeling that the world was falling apart in the Doctor Who fandom while I was having a nice evening. I even got a text from my mum. My mum doesn't watch Doctor Who. She used to watch it with me, ironically, during series 1 to 4. Um, and I complained to her last week that Doctor Who is going south. Doctor Who's I do not like the direction Doctor Who's going in. And she was like, okay, sure. And then I don't know, I haven't spoken to you. I've only just got back, so I haven't heard if they watched it or if they just saw on social media what had happened. But she just texted me out of the blue, like, what the fuck? Are you okay? Like that's like she was worried for my sanity because of what happened in the reality war. Um so yeah. I think it's important to focus on the actual episode itself, the reality war. Forget the previous two. You know what I mean? What is wrong with the reality war is what's wrong with Doctor Who. It's a very good episode to complain about and get all your bad feelings about the era as a whole. Um, so let's just address what I liked about the reality war. Um, I liked Anita. I liked Anita coming back. I thought she was quite a good character in Joy to the World. She was probably the best part of Joy to the World, and I was really surprised to have her back. And it was actually one of the few good ways to solve a cliffhanger. Russel Davies used to have kind of a very slapdash quick resolution to cliffhangers. And yes, this is a quick resolution, but it is earned because it's pre-established, and it's a good way of using a character from a previous story who could open a door anywhere. Very good way of doing that, and using the time hotel, and also using the time hotel as a way to break reality because it's a door into outside of that reality, outside of the wish. That's good plot reasoning. I think one thing I want to say about this story is that I dislike Doctor Who episodes. I've disliked episodes in the past. I'll probably dislike episodes in the future. There will be episodes of every era that are not for everyone. And that's fine. Not every Doctor Who episode has to be perfect. Not every Doctor Who episode is going to be over a 5.10, 5 out of 10. What I want is for there to at least be a point to it. To think, okay, some people might prefer this, but it's not for me. Like a lot of people hate Love and Monsters. I'm mixed to it. Some people really love it. I can understand why someone could say Fear Her more than me. I quite like The Idiot's Lantern. A lot of people hate it. That's fine. With this one, it's just I was just asking myself, like, why? I don't enjoy it at all. But I just asked why? Why write this? Why? What's the message? What's the point? What was the motivation behind writing this? Because I can't think in a million years how someone could. I used to think watching Doctor Who episodes, wow, I am not, you know, nearly as creative as any writer. I don't think I'm ever going to be a writer. I would love to be. I wish I'd put more work in to put myself in, to put myself in that position, because it's, I'd love to be that creative. And I used to watch like early Russell, bits of Moffat, and just think, wow, like they really made that work. That's a really difficult thing, and they've really made that work. That was so like creative and clever, and just a real good use, and everything wrapped up. And now I'm just thinking, why? That's a weird decision. Why you've put yourself like, why bring Poppy back? Even if you want to have a baby, why does it have to be Poppy from Space Babies? Why have Belinda say, "I want to get home"? Why have Belinda point out the fact that, like, basically in episode 1, she doesn't like the kind of heteronormative traditionalist ex-boyfriend who wants to put her in a box and be like, no, this is how you're supposed to live your life. Only enough Nani to put her in a literal box and rewrite her life so she's now a mum, a single mum at that. That's a horror show. That's a horror film. Why mention Susan at all? Why? God. Why, build up Mrs. Flood only for the real villain to not be Mrs. Flood, but a bi-generated Mrs. Flood, which is, the Rani. I mean, they're both the Rani, but like they still called him Mrs. Flood a bit. Like, why build up Mrs. Flood and be like, oh no, it's not Mrs. Flood, it's the new one. It's like, oh, right. And then they bring back Omega. And while I understand the reasoning to bring back Omega, there are canon reasons why it doesn't work, which I'm never going to submit to. If there's a canon reason things doesn't work, you can just go through the canon. Like, the canon reasons it doesn't work is that they wanted to bring his body back. Omega doesn't have a body. But they can say, with the stuff the gods have done, he now does. But you've brought Omega back, and he's just a big monster with claws, and he's a character who historically has motivations. He wants a body back. He wants to live. And he's only sinister through, like, being trapped. It's made him mad. Because he sacrificed his freedom to give Time Lords time travel. And you actually see really nice moments, I heard people mention them, in his last story, The Arc of Infinity, where he has basically taken on the same form as the Fifth Doctor. And Peter Davison's acting as him, and he's like taking in Amsterdam. Just like, oh wow, I can live now. This is nice. And like, there's sympathy there. This is just a bastardized version of that. And he did the exact same thing. Russell did the exact same thing with Sutekh last season. Just big monster. It's like, and this all comes back to the fact that this was all billed as a reboot. This was billed as Doctor Who's new. This is the future. The future's here. It's not series 14 and 15. It's season 1 and 2. And someone listed how many returning aspects from previous series happened in series 1, in Christopher Eccleston, series 1, 2005. And it's Daleks. Oh no, sorry, and they also added series 2, first series Data Tense. So it was Daleks, Cybermen, Sarah Jane Smith, and the Autons. Yeah. Oh, K9, I guess, but he's pretty much a package deal with Sarah Jane. But yeah, it was pretty much not a lot. And with these two series, you've got no Daleks or Cybermen, which I think's fine. I think it's good to give them a break. The irony of giving the Daleks or the Cybermen a break, and people being like, oh, that's good, it'll be like a reboot, we're going to give them a break, and then just doubling down in the opposite direction and being like, Rani's back. Oh, as soon as the Rani's back, we're immediately going to bring Omega back and ruin him. And we're going to ruin the Rani as well, because we brought her back. She had good characterization without Punjabi, and then Omega eats her, and it's just like, why? Why? We did a sequel to Midnight, and while I didn't mind it, in hindsight, it's one of a billion things coming back. And I never wanted Russell to rewrite, or not to rewrite, to do a sequel of Midnight. It's another thing which I would ask myself why. I would never even consider writing that, and he did. What else came back in this series? What else? What else in the last series? I mean, you got Sutek, you got what else? I don't know, Billy Piper. We're counting the other stuff like just 10th Doctor stuff. The entire Don Noble arc, the whole Meta Crisis stuff has to be brought back, and this was supposed to be a jumping on point. It's the least accessible Doctor Who's ever been. This is the worst jumping on point for a show ever. I'm so annoyed that I own a DVD box set which says season 1 on it, and I'm just like, it. And also, how many times in this era have we seen like clips just of previous Doctors? I swear it's like every 2 episodes. Like season 1, I think it happened like twice. I think it happens in Rogue, which is like a cool moment when he has to identify that he's a Doctor and he's not like um whatever the people are called, I forget. And then it also happens a bit in the finale where you see clips from Pyramids of Mars. Like he's like they actually stop an episode to just watch Pyramids of Mars for like a minute, and that's just really funny. But then in this series, like it happens a few times. How many times are there just flashbacks? Like in Midnight, they say it's midnight, and they do a flashback to midnight. I'm like, you don't need to do that. You didn't need to do a flashback to midnight. You could just be like, well, we now know it's midnight. And for the people who that gives them an impact, who know, that note there sells it. You don't need to show David Tennant's face from midnight. It's just unnecessary. And then Wishworld took like the flashbacks to an 11. I get the point of the episodes, people trying to remember their actual reality, but it gives you flashbacks to like previous parts of that exact episode, and it gets to the point where it's like, we have no faith in the viewer. Here's a scene from a previous episode. Did you know that episode? Have you seen that episode? And it's just jangling keys. And looking back, every conclusion to a series or mini-series since RTT2 has left me feeling, oh God, I do not agree with any of the creative decisions here. The Giggle was very opposed to that. It didn't give Shooty a great jumping on point in that, he didn't have his own start. And it very made it hard to kind of feel like he's the Doctor when there's just another Doctor there. And then the end of season 1. Season 1 looks so good now compared to season 2. Like, I now look at Empire of Death and go, okay, do you know what? Not that bad. But season 2, oh God, it was going so well. I liked the first 5 episodes. I really did. The Robot Revolution was silly. It felt like Doctor Who. It actually felt like Doctor Who. Episode 2, Lux. Sure, it made some decisions which were controversial, but it was new, it was fresh. Story in the Engine, like, I don't think I saw many people ranking it a 10, but I loved Story in the Engine because it was new. It did something. Oh God, it brought the Roof Doctor back, but that was at least justified somewhat in doing that. And I forgot they brought Jodie back as well in reality. Well, they did that as well. I think it's important that I talk about what's going on with the actual show, because that's very important to. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say I am wearing this top as well because rip, he's dead. Poor Shooty, poor bloody Shooty. I do need to talk about the goings on behind the scenes. As when Doctor Who came back, we were told we would be getting a series every year, and that's why they were doing eight a season, because it was like, okay, we're only doing that to make sure that we can film it, and they filmed the first 2 really quickly. Like they filmed season 1, there was a tiny gap, then filmed season 2. They filmed them so quick and so in advance that when you were watching episodes of Unleashed, I stopped watching Unleashed actually during this series because I was just like so bored of it. But the Robot Revolution was filmed around the time that the Star Beast aired. So they were so ahead. They had so much time to film season 3. And season 3 wasn't filming, and everyone was like, okay, They're taking a bit of a gap. Shooty's taking a lot of theatre work on. Why is he doing that? That's fun. Shooty's doing a lot of theatre work. Why? Um, and he was on Graham Norton for Christmas to promote Joy to the World. And people in there reported before it aired to TV, people who were in the audience he said, "Oh, we're going to be filming season 3 next year." It's like, yeah, we're filming season 3 in 2025. He said that, and it was cut from the broadcast. And then Russell comes out and says, "Oh, it was always the plan that we would do these 2 series, and then Disney wait for the 2 series to air, and then it would be recommissioned." And it's so clear that that wasn't the plan. When people make press statements and go, "This was always the plan," I'm immediately like, well, it wasn't. Otherwise, you'd have been more clear about that. And why weren't you? And then, I don't know if you know, that there is a controversial Twitter account which basically goes to every single Doctor Who film. It's called Doctor Who Film Indications, and the guy just stalks Doctor Who sets. I don't want to go into him. That's a whole other kettle of fish. But he spotted in March that they were doing reshoots, and he said, "This is not season 3. This is a reshoot. They're shooting at a location for season 2, for the finale to season 2." And immediately a lot of people went, "Oh, shoot's getting regenerating. Season 3 hasn't been recommissioned. They're doing a last minute reshoot." But yeah, that's not good news. And I kind of believed it very early on. I thought it makes so much sense because Shooty is a talented actor. He's a young, really on the rise actor. He's got so many opportunities that he could do. Like, he was in Barbie, for Christ's sake. Like, he really, the world's his oyster in terms of acting. He can't be wasting his time with Doctor Who, waiting on a commission. It makes no sense for him. And it's clear it's not a Christopher Eccleston situation, I don't think, where there might have been more problems behind the scenes, but we can't know that. It's not a Colin Baker situation where he was shoved out. I think it's very clear that the situation was just there was no answer, and Shooty just said, "You know what, I can't do this. I need to go," and he was allowed to leave. And if you watch this episode, as bad as the episode is, it gets worse when the episode pivots and it's like, "Oh, we need to figure out how to regenerate Shooty," because there's no narrative reason for him to regenerate. His doctor's fine. His doctor's so fine. If they knew going into the story that he was going to regenerate, the better way to do it is for him is the cliffhanger to Wishworld, cause him to regenerate and him hold it back throughout the story. That is how you should do it. But instead, how he regenerates is he realizes Poppy isn't. He realizes Poppy's gone, and he wants to bring her back, and don't know why. Oh, God, I'm just so annoyed. So annoyed. I haven't even talked about Billy Piper. And that's so bad as well. But God, so he wants to change time, and the only way he can do that is by giving up his regeneration energy to move time back to its actual reality. So he sacrifices his regeneration energy. Jodie shows up. She was fun. I like Jodie. I mean, it was very obvious that she was wearing a wig, but I don't care. Jodie's just good vibes, good energy. I like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, and she was nice. Is there a reason for her to just show up? No. No reason whatsoever. But it's got to the point now where it just feels like nothing matters. There are no narrative walls within stories blocking. There are no rules. And when there's no rules, there's also no point. Why am I watching this? Why should I care? When anything can just be done by the writer, and he can just be like, "Oh well," and magic happens. Because it's now getting to that point where it feels like I don't have a writer writing a TV show. It feels like it is a kid on the playground playing Doctor Who, and then being like, and then I regenerate, and then the 10th Doctor shows up, and then the Daleks show up, and then they go away, and then we win, and then Rose comes back. It feels like that. And it's just, I don't care. I've just stopped caring. I don't want to watch it in the same way I used to watch it. Oh, I want to watch Doctor Who. And now it's like, that's not Doctor Who. This is a show called Doctor Who. This doesn't feel like Doctor Who. I disliked some of the Jodie Whittaker era. I'll be honest, it never didn't feel like Doctor Who to me. It still felt like Doctor Who. And in retrospect, Series 11 was a really good idea. I think it was wasn't executed in the right way. I think having three companions wasn't a great idea. But in terms of how fresh it was, like it felt really different and really new. And I still kind of felt like it was Doctor Who. I still did feel it like it was like Doctor Who. And yeah, this era is obsessed with the show. It's obsessed with callbacks. It's obsessed with nostalgia. It's obsessed with shoving in your face things from the past of the show. And yet it feels less like the show than ever before. And that's culminated in Billie Piper being the Doctor. I saw someone say that Russell T Davies has 3 people in his phone book, and 2 of them are David Tennant. But I have nothing against Billie Piper. Nothing at all. That's not on her. She was asked to come in and film a shot, and also it's really poorly done because you can so clearly see they did reshoots for Shooty. He did the regeneration, and then like 2 months later, I wouldn't surprise me if the Billy shot was done like a month ago. But like, because you don't even see her body, you just see her face, and I'm convinced they didn't put her in like Shooty's costume. I'm convinced that's just her head and then Shooty's body. And it's just he's cast 3 Doctors since he came back, and and Tennant and Rose are 2 of them, and it's just who is this for? Who asked for this? Who? And I'm just wondering what's the point in carrying on. I mean, I said to my mate I'm going to stop watching Doctor Who, and he called me out and said, "You're going to still watch it." And I went, "Yeah." I didn't say admit to it. This is me admitting to you, Tom. I probably will watch Doctor Who, but I'm not watching it with the same love in my heart. I might not watch it when it comes out anymore. I don't care. I used to worry about things getting spoiled for me, and the last 2 years I've not cared. I've actually looked for leaks because I don't care about being spoiled about a show which didn't excite me. The leaks might excite me more if they're good, or if they're really bad. Let's just see if they're as bad as they look. And yeah, I just don't care about the show to the same extent as I did. Maybe that's a sign of growing up, but I don't think it is. I really don't think it is, because Doctor Who can be bad sometimes. Doctor Who can have eras which you don't like. But this isn't an era I don't like. This is an era which, in 10 years' time, I'm going to be apathetic towards. Like the Jodie Whittaker era, like when people didn't like it, they were angry and they'd speak about it. I'm tired. This era makes me tired. I don't want to watch or talk about this show right now. I don't. Like, I really don't. And I really hope something happens. But Billie Piper would be an incredible Doctor casting because she's an incredible actor. But in the context of how this series is run, it's clear it's just stunt casting because she played Rose. That's clearly what she represents. It's not Billie Piper as Doctor Who. It's Rose Tyler as Doctor Who. That's what it is. That's who it is. And they haven't said she's the Doctor, which is just so like, come on, have some balls. Back yourself. You've regenerated Shooty into Billie Piper. Stand your ground. You did this. We didn't ask for it. You've done this. And I've gone, oh, introducing Billie Piper. Who, what, why, when she is. We don't know. You're going to find out when. You haven't filmed anything yet. You haven't written. Come on. What are you doing? Like, Russell has completely and utterly destroyed his legacy. Completely and utterly destroyed his legacy. And I have a really bad, bad feeling in my stomach that he's going to try and bring Tennant back very soon. Because I just know, as soon as they did that by generation, there is a David Tennant on hand, waiting, sitting with Donna Noble. I'm like, oh, that's a problem. Because if Russell knows that there's a Tennant on hand that he can just use, God, he'll be so tempted to use it. But yeah, I don't know if this is an overreaction. It probably is. This is what I just, yeah, sorry. This is just too much. I just don't care about the show in the same way. I still care deeply about the show, but this current iteration of it is just not right. And the way I think I'm going to deal with this is watch previous eras. I'm going to watch more Classic Who. I'm going to fill the gaps in my Classic Who knowledge, all those episodes I've not seen. I'm probably going to rewatch a lot of the bad episodes or things that I didn't like through New Who, because I actually prefer watching those episodes, because like I don't need to rewatch The Wars of Mars. I know that's an amazing episode. It's the ones that are middling, where like, oh, this is better on a second watch. Like I watched Idiot's Lantern 2 years ago and I was like, oh, it's actually not that bad. It's rewatching episodes like that. And yeah, I just need to enjoy. I'm looking at my DVD collection here and I'm just like, yeah, I want to watch my classic box set of season 2. Not the one that's just come out from 1964, that one, but yeah. I've been the Bored Whovian. I don't like Doctor Who that much anymore. I'd like to see what people think. This was all one take. I'm very proud of that, without that many pauses. I did swear at one point, but I am going to keep it in because I can't monetize this content anyway. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what people say. I'm really shocked to find some people liked this episode. I'm really shocked about that, and just feel like they I don't want to insult those people, but like just jangle some keys in front of your eyes, and that might be fun. But the sad thing is, it's just wasted shooting. Wasted shooting. I'm kind of happy for him because he can just go on. Go on. Don't let Russell T Davies' bad writing ideas weigh down your career. You can go and do things. Go. He's got theatre production that he's doing for the whole summer. Enjoy that. Love it. You're a good actor. Do that. Oh God. It's just not good. It's just not good. There are more things I need to say, and I probably would need another hour to say them, but yeah, I've been the Bored Whovian. Those have been my opinions. Give me your opinions. Like the video if you enjoyed it. You don't have to. It really doesn't mean anything. Subscribe if you want to. If I do any videos, I'm not going to do reviews. I'm not going to do anything of the sort. I'm going to look back at the show, maybe do mini video essay, stuff like that. But stick around for stuff like that if you want to. Ding the bell for notifications. You'll be notified whenever those videos actually do go out. And yeah, have fun. See ya. And yeah, I will see you around in the next one.
Sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back.